Hi, Prabhu here. Today we will see about multi-pass rendering in Maya 2017 using Arnold render engine. After that we will comp our render images in Adobe Photoshop CS6 or CC. It's really useful for your own demos. Stay tuned. Okay, before we start multi-pass rendering, we will set our simple scene setup. So before that I will set my project. Go to file and choose project window and choose new. So example, I will give multi-pass rendering. So I will choose my D drive. So and click accept. So I want to create my polyplane over here. So for our simple setup, so I want to take my wireframe pass, so I will give some ground plane as 20 divisions. So and create polysphere, and you want to scale up to 7. So I want to scale the polyplane really big. So I will select my polysphere and give subdivisions up to 40. Go to front view, go to front view. So press W. You want to move this polysphere on above the grid like this. Go to perspective. So now I want to make some material for the sphere. Right click and choose assign new material. Right click and choose assign new material and choose Arnold. Here you want to choose AI standard. I give red color. So now we want to set our camera view for our lighting. So click spacebar. So and then I want only 2 viewports. So I will expand this one. So now go to rendering and click on create cam. It will automatically create it in center of grid. Press R and scale really big. Now go to panels perspective and choose camera 1. So now I want to adjust my camera viewport. Here you need to give view camera settings and choose overscan, view camera settings and choose resolution gate. So like this. So now I want to open, I will lock my camera view. So when the camera view selected, click on this lock camera. So this is new in Maya 2017. So that when you click on this one, you cannot able to move the viewport. So now select this viewport and open Arnold and choose Arnold render view. So now I want to set my render layer as, go to render and choose camera. So in default it will be set in perspective shape. So I want to set my camera shape 1. So select this one. So now I want to add some lights in our scene. So click on in rendering, click on area light and press R to scale and press W, move in Z and move in Y. So I want to rotate this one in X little bit, so to pointing our sphere. So I will move little bit up and move little bit in Z. So now I want to increase my exposure. So when the area light selected, I want to increase my exposure. So I will give up to 13. So like this. So I will go a little bit closer. So see here, I didn't want any shadows in our scene. So because we want to comp occlusion pass in Photoshop, so I will disable my cast shadow option. So now I want to select this polysphere. Right click and choose material attributes and now I want to give some specular weight, so I give specular weight to 1. So I didn't want any roughness, so I give roughness to 0. So I will decrease my specular weight to low, so I will decrease like this. So now I want to select my area light, so I want to increase my area light shape little more big. So in the area light selected, press R and scale little bit big, so that means you got that reflection shape will be increased. Okay, now we got perfect shape over here, so it's really nice. Now I want to increase my samples up to 2, so because it has little bit quality on our edges, so I will increase my samples. So now we want to make render passes like color pass, occlusion pass and wireframe pass. So I will close my render view. So now you want to set the render layers. So in Maya 2016 the render layers will be available here. In Maya 2017 the render layer is switch over to here. So this one is the new render setup and also the render layer. In default it has scenes, so we need to add all the layers over here. So click on this create layer. So now I want to rename this layer as color pass, so I will use CLR. So now you want to create new collection, so right click and choose create collection. So in this collection you need to add all these objects and lights over here. Go to window and choose outliner. So in color pass we need to add all the objects and lights in the scene. So select the polyplane one, polysphere one and area light one in outliner using control. Middle mouse click and drag and drop on this area. So that means all our objects will be added in this collection. So now I will minimize this layer. So in Maya 2017 the render setup is little bit different than other versions, so previous versions, so listen carefully. So now you need to add another layer. So this one is called occlusion, so OCC. So right click and choose create collection. So in this collection you need to add only the objects, because occlusion layer we need only the mesh. So select polyplane one and polysphere one and middle mouse click and drag over here. So now I want to create, see when I isolate this occlusion pass, so when I open my Arnold render view, so it's still rendering our light pass. So we need to add occlusion pass over here. So I will close my Arnold render view. So here you want to expand this one and right click and choose create material override. So in this material override, when the material override selected, click on this checker and in Arnold you need to choose in shaders you need to choose AI ambient occlusion. So that means it will switch over to ambient occlusion. Click on this checker. So now you able to increase the samples. So select this viewport, go to Arnold and Arnold render view. So now you able to see the occlusion over here. Now I want to increase my samples to 4 and reduce my fall off, I reduce my spread over here, so little bit darkness on this area, so I will reduce my spread. So now you got darkness on this area. Okay, so now you got occlusion pass. So see here, when I click on this I button, so now it's rendering on our color pass. I click on this I button, now it's rendering on our occlusion pass. It's really easy to render. See here. So now I want to add wireframe pass in. Finally, we want to add wireframe pass. So I will close my Arnold render view. So now create another layer. So here I want to rename as wireframe. So right click and choose create collection. So in this collection selected, here you need to drag and drop this mesh, polyplane and polysphere one, middle mouse and drag and drop over here. So now I want to give material override. So right click on this collection and choose create material override. So I will select this material override. Here I will click on this material override material checker and go to Arnold. Here you need to choose in shaders. Here you want to choose AI wireframe. So now here it will shows the preview. So in H type you want to choose polygons. So now you want to select this viewport and open your Arnold render view. So now I want to click on this I button on wireframe. So that means it will render our wireframe pass. So I will give line color to red. So I want red color. So and increase my line width to 1.2 something. So like this. I didn't want fill color, so I will reduce fill color to black. So like this. So now it's rendering our wireframe. So I minimize my wireframe pass. So now I close my Arnold render view. So I will close my outliner. So I want to increase my image width and height. So go to render settings. So in common tab I want to choose my image name of 1920 into 1080. So full HD 1080. So like this. So I want to render my camera view. So I will close this one. So now I want to render only the one frame. So I will render it manually. So open your Arnold render view. So I will zoom out a little bit. So when the color was selected, you need to select this I button. So that means it will render our color layer. So after it render completed, you want to save this file as targa. So it will rendering. See here, it's rendering. Okay, it's render completed our color pass. Go to file and choose save save image color corrected. So and choose your destination folder in images. So this one is the color pass. So I will use CLR dot. So you definitely want to save as TGA. So because we want to comp in Photoshop, so I will choose as color.tga and click save. So now I isolate on occlusion pass. So click on this I button. So that means it will start rendering our occlusion pass. Okay, it's render completed. Go to file and choose save image color corrected. So you want to save in the same place. So occlusion.tga. So I will give.tga like this. So and click save. So now I want to click on this I on wireframe. So that means it will start rendering our wireframe pass. Okay, it's render completed. Go to file and choose save image color corrected and choose this one as a wireframe .tga. .tga and click save. So now you want to open Photoshop and go to file and choose open. So in your destination folder in images, so you want to open all these three things. So now I want to open my occlusion pass. Take move tool and drag and drop to your color pass. So exactly like this. So see here, now I have occlusion pass over on my color pass. So now I want to change my blending mode of my occlusion pass to multiply. So now you able to see our contact shadow. So it's really nice. So now I want to save this final image. So go to file and choose save as. In your source images you need to save as, so CLR underscore final. So I will choose my format as JPEG and click save and click OK. So now this one is the occlusion pass. So I will go to file and choose save as. So if you want some darkness for your occlusion pass, so I will double click on this layer and click OK and press Ctrl J to duplicate and choose multiply. So that means you got little bit darkness, and save this as a file, save as and choose JPEG. In your source images higher I want to rename as occlusion.jpg and click save, quality to maximum and click OK. So I will delete this layer 0. So now I want to make wireframe on my occlusion pass. So go to wireframe pass and click on channels. Here you need to use control click on this red layer thumbnail. So don't select this layer, click on this control plus left mouse button, click on this red layer channel. So that means it will select like this. Go to layer, select this background layer and press Ctrl J. So that means it will duplicate only our wireframe. So now I will drag this file so separately. So now I want to select this file and use shift plus left mouse button and click and drag this layer to this file. So that means our wireframe is over to our occlusion pass. So it's really nice. Go to file and choose save as. Now I want to save as JPEG and choose in my source images. So I will choose my source images as wireframe as JPEG and click save. So now I go my destination folder in multi-pass rendering. In multi-pass rendering in source images, so I will preview this one. I hope you like it. I see you on next project. Click subscribe button to subscribe my YouTube channel for more Maya 2017 tutorials. Click here to also watch the tutorial of image based lighting in Maya 2017 using Arnold render engine.